Welcome. Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight to celebrate with us. For those of you who don't know me, my name is B3000 and I'm the President of Melbourne Business Network as well as the Business 3000 Plus Awards program. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge some special guests tonight. We've got the Deputy Lord Mayor here, Aaron Wood. We've got Barbara Cullen, the Director of Small Business Victoria. Judy O'Connell, Small Business Commissioner. Michael Anderson is not here. There we are. Michael's somewhere from the City of Melbourne. We've got Paul Smart, the Chairman of Small Business Mentoring Service. Eric Rubens and Judith Van Uwen from Small Business Mentoring Service, and they're our judges tonight. So I don't know whether you can actually influence the judges just yet. Too late. Trophies are done. We've got some of our members from Melbourne Business Network Committee, and we've got Barry here tonight, Jerry, Dan, Lisa, and I think Anita might be coming fairly soon. I'd like to welcome our sponsors, past winners and current nominees. I'd like to send a special apology from John Stock, our Executive Officer. He's swanning around on a cruise boat off Darwin right now. So he got out just in time, just to leave us all in a bit of a mess. No, he didn't. We were all organised. He was totally organised, which was fantastic, and he handed over the proceedings very well. So he sends his best wishes to all of the finalists and the winners tonight and apologises for not being here. So we're here tonight to celebrate the finalists and the winners for Business 3000 Plus Awards for 2017. Small business in Melbourne accounts for 83% of all businesses in the municipality. There are now around 16,000 businesses up and running in the municipality. So thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate not only the success of small business in Melbourne, but every budding entrepreneur or person who's courageous enough to go into business for themselves or into collaboration with someone to start a business. This is really not an easy job at all. So congratulations to all of those, and we'd really like to celebrate that courage tonight. I'd like to welcome once again our Deputy Lord Mayor, Aaron Wood, who has a really strong interest in sustainability, livability and city resilience. He runs the Environmental Education Program, Kids Teaching Kids, which has seen more than 120,000 students participating over the last 17 years, and won the 2010 Banksia People's Choice Award. Aaron is Chair of the Finance and Governance Portfolio and has a wide range of executive and advisory positions, including being a member of Sustainability Victoria Board and Chair of Eco City World Summit 2017 Executive Advisory Board. He was named in the top 10 education leaders nationally in 2009 as part of the Weekend Australian magazine. Aaron received the Centenary Medal for outstanding contribution to conservation and environment. He completed Churchill Fellowship to New York and Geneva with the United Nations, and as the 2007 Prime Minister's Environmentalist of the Year. Aaron also won prestigious Melbourne Award for contribution to the environment and was selected to complete Al Gore's Climate Change Leadership Program. Well, let me tell you, I cut out half the stuff. I've only read a snippet. This was a potted bio, okay? And amongst all of that, which was a huge mouthful, and I certainly couldn't remember it, he's just had, he and his wife, a 4-week-old little bubby boy to add to their family. So congratulations, Aaron. And I do want to ask, are you getting any sleep at all?
No. It's optional at the moment.
So, and Aaron is new, he's in his new role as Deputy Lord Mayor. We welcome you, and I'd like everyone to give Aaron a very, very warm and a very Melbourne welcome.
Thanks very much, Bev. Yes, if I fall asleep on the lectern halfway through this speech, you'll know why. It's our second child, and I believe that I must have kicked a black cat or something, because our eldest, our 3.5-year-old, has croup. She was barking all night last night, and the 4-week-old was doing what 4-week-old babies do and crying just a little bit. Thank you for that lovely introduction, Bev. I agree with you. I was sort of sitting there listening to that introduction. I thought, what an overachieving wanker, really. But to sort of put I guess a finer point on that is that my father was my primary school principal. I spent more time in his office than any other child, and it wasn't for good behaviour. I did work out, I think they call it initiative, that in the third drawer was the gold stars, and so I stole those gold stars, and it looked like I was doing great things. He now works for me on minimum wage at Kids Teaching Kids, so you've got to be a little bit careful is what I say. But I guess the story there is, and I understand that Business 3000, I understand the network is a varied network, but to recognise small business, those medium-sized businesses, and in fact what my business is, which is a micro business, I think is really fantastic, because you know, when you're sort of mired in your BAS and your, you know, all the bills and things that are coming in, to get together and to actually celebrate each other and to celebrate your own business is really, really important. I'd like to acknowledge the land of the Kulin Nation, on whose land that we meet this evening, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I'd like to acknowledge Barbara Cullen, the Director of Small Business Victoria, Judy O'Connell, the Small Business Commissioner, and of course John Stock, which Bev mentioned. Is there anyone in the room that doesn't know John Stock? I think not, and he can't be here tonight, but he is out there each and every day getting in the ear of people and telling them how important this network is, but I think just as importantly telling people how important perhaps the businesses that you don't always see on television or with big advertising campaigns, how important they are to the fabric of this city. So it's my great pleasure to be here this evening for a brief time. You'll forgive me that I will dash after this, because my wife would not be very happy if I stay and drank with you this evening while the 2 babies at home, as much as I wish that I could. But it's my pleasure to be here for a small part of the evening to say congratulations to all the nominees. I've been to a few awards nights in my time. I'd advise you not to make the same speech that I made at the Young Australian of the Year Awards, where my category was the environment, and so it was quite far into the evening, and I was very, very nervous, being quite young. Mike Larkin was actually the MC, and I won. And I'd had quite a number of beers by that stage, and Mike Larkin said, and the winner is Aaron Wood, and I walked up to the stage, managed to keep one foot in front of the other, and he did a bit of a Q&A with each winner, and you know, I managed to thank the sponsors, and it was pretty good, and then he said at the end, and he said, so what have you been doing that's so important for the environment? And I thought, you know, this is just a really witty comeback, and I think it's going to go over so well. And I said, well, Mike, tonight I've been conserving water and drinking beer. So just a word of caution for those of you who are drink this evening. I think the thing about these awards is that they really do focus on the character of what makes Melbourne a great city, and we can talk about the billions of dollars in investment and the GDP that it brings, and where we rank in terms of global cities. If you ask the Lord Mayor, he'll happily tell you that we're the world's most livable city 6 years in a row. He confirmed that when we won it from the Vancouver Lord Mayor, Gregor Robertson, that he texted him, because the time zone was different, he texted him at 3 a.m. in the morning when it came to us, just because he thought he'd like to know straight away. I actually confirmed that when I met Gregor Robertson. But titles and GDP and all those sorts of things are one thing. But when you're running a small or medium-sized business, these networks are absolutely critical. Not just to, you know, for people to come along and feel part of a network and potentially meet someone who might give them a job, but to actually talk about the challenges, talk about the opportunities, and just to share an evening together in good company with people who share similar sorts of paths as you do, perhaps in different industries. I think when you talk about small business, it really has forged our identity in Melbourne. Many of the iconic businesses that are in Melbourne started off as small businesses, and indeed some in this room have gone on to be global success stories. We heard mention about how important small business is. I think when you talk about a prosperous small business story, 13,000 or more than 80% of businesses in Melbourne are small businesses. When you look at Australia as a whole, 96% of businesses are SMEs. So we hear a lot about the big end of town, but SMEs are really, really important to our economy. I've learned that gaming is a huge and growing industry in our city. I've learned I should have spent a lot more time on the Xbox because some of these guys are getting paid big bucks, but it's that creative, innovative, diverse, niche business that I think the City of Melbourne does really well. And I think when you compare us to another city somewhere up the coast, what we do really well is that collaborative or reciprocal kind of relationship. So when you go and talk to someone, you know, they may even be your competitor. They're happy to help you out. They're happy to connect you to other people. They're happy not necessarily to open their books completely, but to find areas of common collaboration that can work for the city, because they know if they do good for you and the city, then that'll do good for their business. So healthy community, healthy bottom line, I think is well understood by City of Melbourne businesses. The awards program, as I said, is really, really important. I think it's the premier awards program for those in the postcode business 3000 plus, because it takes into a wider look across different postcodes. But I just want to finish, I guess, by saying that local governments can do things to help. We can design streets that are good. We can support public transport interchanges. We can build a more resilient, a more cohesive, a more diverse city. But ultimately, we have to play the role of facilitator, of advocate for small business, for business in general, because you know your industry best. It's often fraught with a lot of danger when governments start to get in and try and make commercial decisions for the future. So without each and every one of you in this room, we don't have the diverse, the thriving economy that we have, but most importantly, we don't have the community that makes Melbourne so great. So thank you very much. Good luck to all of the nominees tonight, and congratulations as well to the winners, but also to the Melbourne Business Network on an absolutely fantastic awards night, and a great turnout, and a great space to be in. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. I know you've got to run away because you have to look after that 3-year-old, make sure they don't get into any mischief. So thank you very much. I'm going to now introduce a previous recipient of one of the B3000, Business 3000 Awards back in 2015 of the Social Enterprise Award, and Ruggiero Gomo is the founder and CEO of the Gomo Foundation. It was a great story when this came out, and we've watched this foundation grow, and we've watched Ruggiero make a great impact into the scene within Melbourne, and also doing some amazing work over in his homeland as well. So I'm going to ask Ruggiero to come up here and have a few words and tell us what it was like to in fact receive an award and how it's made a difference to the foundation. Welcome, Ruggiero.
Thank you very much, Ben, for the introduction. Hi, everybody. It's so great to be with you all today. So, you know, when I started the Gomo Foundation, I was 27 years old, and you know, I was a young entrepreneur full of energy, discovering how to actually bring this to life, in essence. And you know, by participating with the Melbourne Business Network, what made it available actually was a great community of people who were able to introduce us to really great business people. So the Gomo Foundation then created a wisdom council of some of Australia's top business people who could really advise us to actually grow here in Australia and also overseas. So you must be wondering, what does the Gomo Foundation actually do? So the Goma Foundation, is an organization that provides scholarships for young women in Zimbabwe to actually attend secondary school. And the reason I created that is because Melburnians were very generous to actually contribute for me to come to Australia and Melbourne to get an education. And my life has never been the same, and I became a lawyer. So Melbourne is a very, very dear place for me. So imagine, coming from a very small city in Zimbabwe, coming to Melbourne and being able to create this life. So we were really committed to empowering people to have the same opportunities. Maybe one of those girls would create technology for blind people to see. So what the award made available for us first was networking. So Servcorp, who has been a member of the Melbourne Business Network, made their boardroom available for our team. And 3 years ago we were 4, now we're over 20 in all parts of the world, in Saudi Arabia, Canada, South Africa, here in Melbourne. That was never possible without the generosity of people who are involved in the Melbourne Business Network. Yesterday, credibility was one of the things that we really also found really worked. I was in Bangalore last year talking to many of the universities there, and when they discovered that we'd been a part of the Melbourne community, many of the lecturers there had also come to Melbourne, and when I shared with them about the Melbourne Business Network, they're like, oh yeah, we know that organization. So it just created, even overseas, a real great connection with people there. Yesterday I got interviewed by Don Fain, and that was a very interesting experience. Anybody has been interviewed by him. But those sort of opportunities for PR and expanding what we were committed to has really opened up. So it has been a real privilege and opportunity to really be part of a great first city, which is Melbourne. And it's a great city for entrepreneurship and opportunity for people for all walks of life. And I've really found, John Stock and Bev have been side by side with me. Every time I've called John for something when I got stuck, he has been there, introducing me to somebody else to make it happen. So that's been really invaluable. And I just want to congratulate, all the nominees who are here today, and just say to you, wherever you are at, it's so perfect. I know what it's like to work hard. I know what it's like to feel as if you're failing. I know what it's like to have these moments of success. So very congratulations and, well done.
Thanks, Rigari. It's been just such a great pleasure to see how, Rigari has impacted life within Melbourne as well. He's a great advocate. Well, it's actually time to get on with the awards. Everyone's waiting here thinking I had the awards covered up so you couldn't, sneak a peek at who's here. But firstly, I'd like to really thank Eric. Judith, is Judith here?
No, Judith was called out by our national airline.
Okay. Okay, I was scanning the room and I just couldn't see her, so I'd like to thank Eric for coming along, and also in Judith's absence, the judges who've had a really tough time, and we've only just got the winners finally in this week, so it was a long process, as it always is, and a very tough process, I'm sure, Eric. We've got 7 categories and then an overall winner, so we're going to go through each category. And I'd just like to say before we start, this year we had almost double the entrants applying to be nominated for an award, so which was a great result. We can grow, we can do better, and hopefully next year we'll get stronger and stronger. So as these awards get more well known, we hope to in fact go that further. So we're going to start with the Alan Knight Innovation Award, which is sponsored. Yes, we're going to have the Barrel Girls come up. This is Jerry from the MBN committee. The criteria for this award is for businesses that have developed an invention or innovative initiative that has resulted in the creation of a unique or new product or service, system, device or process. And tonight we're going to have Travis, who's the Joint MD, Travis Knight, from Star Rays come and present. So we've got, Travis, if you come over here, then Jerry's going to pass the award. So the Star Rays is a past recipient of the Business 3000 Plus Awards. The company was established in 1992 in Melbourne as a software development firm serving telecommunications and management and residential living communities and higher education. Am I getting this right?
Perfect.
The company has expanded now to North America, Denver, Colorado, and I think that I might come on the next trip in June, get away from this weather. And the customer base now spans more than 240 worldwide. This company has been a huge success story in Melbourne and is now based just down in North Melbourne. Fabulous offices. I remember when we went down and you had the launch, it was just a fabulous location and a great team, a really creative team. So thank you for coming along tonight and presenting this award and also sponsoring the award. I'd like to announce the finalists in this category. We will have some finalists in some categories, but not, even though we had multiple nominees, some didn't make it to a finalist, so I will announce a finalist where it was very close. So the finalist in this section in the Innovation Award is EBEX. So they're a finalist. And the winner is Mimi. So. And I think we have Rob.
Yes.
Rob, would you like to come up as the Executive Chairman of Mimi, and would you tell us just a little bit about a little bit, yes, that would be great, we'd love that.
No problem. Well, firstly, I'd like to thank Business 3000 for putting on these awards. It's a fantastic initiative to acknowledge business in this way, and certainly very, very, very important when you're out there on that rocky road of startups and so forth. But Mimi, we're a platform business, and we operate in the last mile delivery network. So we're out solving that last mile problem in that logistics space, and we've made some fantastic inroads in this business of late, and we're now partnering with a lot of the tier one nationals in the market. So we've got sort of companies like Kmart on board now from a very, very small operation. We're actually delivering for Australia Post, believe it or not. So there's lots of initiatives there that we've been able to fulfil in the last number of years. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob. Had a quick look at your website today as well. It looks fantastic.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, really good. Really interesting. So the next award is one second, sorry. Is the what is it? New Business Award. Sorry, the New Business Award. And the criteria for this, some printing problems, which is often last minute things. The criteria for this is for a business to be operating over 12 months but less than 3 full financial years and is proving to be a success. This could include, but not limited to, growth in turnover, market share, employee numbers and or customers, business expansion for new product development, or repayment of loans. Something that doesn't always get done, does it? I'd like to invite Paul Smart, who's the chairman of the Small Business Mentoring Service as well as the Small Business Institute, to come and present this award in a moment. The Small Business Mentoring Service is a not-for-profit association that started its journey back in 1986 with just 14 members. Today there are about 130 mentors who have the skills and experience to help small business. Their mentors have a diverse and interesting backgrounds and have either owned their own small business or worked in an organisation that has had strong links to small business. They're extremely passionate about the role that small business plays in the economy, and carry out their mentoring work on a voluntary basis. They acknowledge it can be very difficult and very lonely at times, and financially very worrying running a small business. So the small business mentoring service is a tremendous service that many small businesses have then used and grown with this service. So small business mentoring service is in fact proudly supported by the Victorian State Government as well. The finalists in this category for the New Business Award is Jumbo Early Learning Education. Jumbo Early Education, not learning. So the winner is, now hopefully I say this correctly, Capriès. Oh.
Congratulations. Thank you. Well done. Yeah. You wanted that one?
Oh, handshake.
Well done.
Amelia. And Amelia, can you come and tell us a little bit about what you do?
I don't know why he's hiding behind me. He's my husband, but also my business partner. We met each other. We met each other when we were both in startup back in 2008 and have been together ever since. Capriès is an online wedding marketplace. It empowers couples in Australia to buy and sell pre-loved wedding items. 2 years ago, we had an idea on a road trip to test, what was it? Test
It's like an MVP. One of the problems that we've had is we met each other 7 years ago, but we were so scared of getting married because it cost so much money. So it took me about 6 years to propose and 1 year extra to get married. So I think we tied the knot last year. But one of the trips on the way home to Canberra was around how do we solve this problem. You know, people want to get married, they love each other, but they don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars at home, you know, home deposit on a wedding. So one of the ideas that we came up with, which is what Capriès is today, is to create a wedding marketplace similar to eBay or Gumtree. The idea is for couples to be able to list items that they may never use again.
not just a wedding dress.
Not just a wedding dress. So an example is we spray painted, I think 100 glass bottles for our wedding, and we've got no space for them, so we list this on Capriès for someone else who wants 100 pre-sprayed. And they can buy them for $50 or something like that. So that's where the idea sort of spawned from, and we've been doing it since 2014. We like the idea of it because you know, actually your product's digital. I don't have any postage costs. And it also solves a real problem for people out there. You can find wedding dresses that retail for $9,000, rings that might retail for $20,000, and you get them at a really good price from people who have used them and loved them before. So we think it does help, you know, a real problem out there, and you know, it solves that problem that we have, and hopefully it does for other people as well.
Thank you so much, guys.
What a great story. Where were you when my three daughters were getting married? Yeah, it was a nightmare. I think I'm still paying it off. Now, the next award is for the Female Entrepreneur Award. The Female Entrepreneur Award recognises outstanding achievement by women entrepreneurs that best exemplify effective leadership, innovation, business growth and sustainability. They demonstrate cultural, social and environmental awareness, demonstrate a commitment to enhancing the well-being of the larger community. I'd like Judy O'Connell to come up, who's the Small Business Commissioner, to actually present this award. And the Office of the Victorian Small Business Commissioner provides quick, low-cost dispute resolution services to businesses in dispute with other businesses or government bodies. They do a great service, and I think that, you know, often small businesses get into disputes, whether it's over leasing or building a web, a whole range of different things, and this office really does a terrific job, and it's at low cost to in fact help resolve these issues. So there are no finalists in this section, but the winner is Hidden Secret Tours. Fiona.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Great, thank you.
Fiona?
Oh,
Congratulations,
thank
Fiona.
you.
Will you tell us exactly what Hidden Secret Foods does?
Well, I'm quite surprised because I applied for something else. I'm very excited. Thank you very much. I've been running Hidden Secrets tours since 2004, and we do walking tours of the centre of Melbourne city centre. What was most important to me when we began was that people were leaving the city in droves, not sure about what small business could offer. And so our focus is laneways, small business and local Melbourne entrepreneurs. And one winner that we certainly hero in our tours is Keep Cup, which is a past-wedding pier. Everything that I wear is Melbourne made. Most of the businesses that we go to are either Melbourne only, but are definitely Melbourne based. And it's a real joy to show around about probably 242 tour groups a month around the city centre. So it's a pretty exciting job. We have 10 staff. I started as just me, and the fact that Melbourne is so proactive about Melbourne women is very exciting. So thank you very much.
We have to get out on one of the tours, I think. The next one is the Social Enterprise Award. The criteria for this award is for businesses that can demonstrate an initiative, campaign or project that has resulted in a community or social benefit. The business needs to have been operating a minimum of 12 months and provide proof that they are classified as a social enterprise. I'd like Rugaro to come back and present this award. He's been a great recipient and now part of our well-loved Melbourne Business Network community. The finalists in this section were Flight Safety Foundation, and the winner is Women's Property Initiatives.
Thank you.
And is it Crystal?
Christy.
Christy, come and tell us exactly what you do here.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy. Women's Property Initiatives are a not-for-profit housing developer and provider located in Flinders Lane in Melbourne. And in 2015 we established a commercial residential real estate agency, and that's been up and running for 2 years now. And we run a residential service to property owners, landlords, and with the profits that are made in the real estate agency, they go back to Women's Property Initiatives to build more homes for women and children at risk of homelessness. So that's our social enterprise business model, and we're so pleased to be here tonight and recognised by the awards and to operate in the City of Melbourne, which we love. So thank you.
That's brilliant. We wish you well, Christy.
Thank you.
Now on to the Disruption Entrepreneur Award. Disruption is not just a buzzword, but an innovation that many small and medium-sized businesses are creating to find a niche within the business model. Often it seems intangible, something that very talented and bright people do. Yet innovation, disruption, is simply a new method, a new idea, a new product, a better process or solution. It's within the power of everyone to innovate. And these days we actually need to, in every single business, be innovative. This is something enlightened companies and enterprise really strive to capture. This award is for companies that are empowering people at any level within the organisation or in a small business that can ignite truly outstanding innovation with serious productivity gains. I'd like Kirsten Koshy, who's the CEO of the cluster, come up to present this award. Kirsten, in fact, the cluster and Chris, Kirsten's husband, were a recipient of this award a long time ago as well. So we've got lots of wonderful past recipients who gone on to enormous success from, not just from winning this award, of course. However, hopefully it's been a part of that journey. And we at Melbourne Business Network have really had, and Business 3000, a really proud association with the cluster for some time now. They're really an integral partner over several years, and we hold many events here and have really watched this co-working space grow, and it's vibrant and energised, and it's been a wonderful path to see go from, is it William Street? At Market Street over the back, level 17, and now this beautiful space in the lounge up here, which is really showcasing the new floor, which is fabulous. And so thank you for your support of Melbourne Business Network and Business 3000, and may we continue this great relationship as well. So there's no finalists in this section, and the winner is Versatile Information Solutions, Praveen. Praveen, will you come and tell us what you do?
He's not going to stop.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Let me get this. Many of you, and from Viz, many of you, I have some of the new faces I may not have met with you guys. But what I do is clients call me as a digital entrepreneur. Essentially, what does that mean is I help companies to disrupt in the marketplace. So helping them to increase probably 20-30% in 90 days. We have a bulletproof system, and we work with the companies who like to innovate and go to the next level. Now, in this short time, rather than just telling about the companies and other things, I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. You know, helping entrepreneurs, growing entrepreneurs, and I truly believe entrepreneur is only the way how we can create more jobs, more opportunity. You agree with me? Yeah. Yeah? So the things are changing, see? As Australia used to be called as a lucky country, right? Great mining booms, farmings, great education, a lot of things, a lot of resources. But now, very hard. In fact, I must say, for every family to get a house and job, it's very hard, right? And it's changing as we speak. So what do we do about it? Do nothing? Just keep quiet? Or do some changes? And as a migrant entrepreneur from Nepal, not sure whether you guys know, where Nepal is, between India and China, I see massive opportunity in Australia, especially here in Melbourne, right here. And that's what we say Melbourne as an entrepreneur city. So I'm in a mission to help entrepreneurs, to inspire entrepreneurs, and to educate entrepreneurs. And this award simply reminds me every day how we can do better. So on that note, I would just like to leave a thought, is perhaps it is a time for us to rethink about our business, about our city, about our country, and let's redefine what lucky country is all about. Thank you.
Who's inspired? If we don't need disruption, hopefully you're convinced now it is the way of the future. Disruption, small business have got the opportunity to actually impact enormously into big business, and it's happening, and it appears to be happening significantly in these great cities, so which is great. Now we're on to International Award, which is sponsored by Hope Earl. And the criteria for this award is for businesses that have developed a strong reputation in the international marketplace. This could be through exporting a product or intellectual property, partnerships with international organisations, or attracting international clientele to the City of Melbourne-based business. I'd like to invite Rob Downing, who's a partner at Hope Earl, to come present this award. And Hope Earl is a specialist business law practice that provides a comprehensive range of large firm corporate and commercial legal services and advice to businesses and individuals throughout Australia and internationally across a range of practice areas including corporate, commercial, intellectual property, real property, innovation and technology, workplace relations, commercial litigation, and general counsel legal services. Just so it's, I think the only thing you don't do is family law, really. So there's no finalists in this section, but we have the winner is Chin Communications. Charles? Is it Charles? Yes. Charles, congratulations. Will you tell us a bit about what you do?
Chin Communications was established 25 years ago. I came to Australia in 1991. And in 1992, my partner and I set up a company providing language services to Australian companies and government departments. And this year is a milestone for us because at the time China was of very little interest to a lot of companies in Australia. Now China is in almost every page of all newspapers and in all the news. And we've been working with Australian companies, businesses, government partners to grow and to succeed and to achieve their goals in China. And it gives them great pleasure to be here and very honored to receive this award. Thank you.
Now we're up to Aaron's gone, and I know Aaron would be very keen to be hearing this award. The Sustainability Award, which is sponsored by Small Business Victoria. The criteria for this award is for businesses that have implemented practices, processes, and facilitates or new ways of doing business that contribute to a sustainable environment. I'd like to welcome Barbara Cullen, Director of Small Business, to in fact present this award. Small Business Victoria offers a wealth of advice to businesses throughout Victoria, from starting a business, marketing, legal obligations to all of the necessary elements to be successful in business. They also run workshops, which actually Melbourne Business Network hosts many here at the cluster, so which is great. They also run a festival every year, and if you've not come along to the festival, it's really a must visit. It runs for the whole month of August, and it really is fabulous. Low cost seminars, workshops, there's a whole range of information, advice that small businesses can get, and a really creative way of doing it. So the month of August is just vibrant in Melbourne, right across it's not held in one place. There are hubs, there is a hub event, but it's held right across at various events. Great experts in small business across various fields. And this year Melbourne Business Network will be hosting once again 3 events, which is great. So look out for the program. It's about to be printed and then distributed. It is online as well, so do take a look at that. So in this section there are no finalists, but the winner is Rightship. Chris Frumberger. There we are, welcome. And congratulations, Chris. Tell us what you do.
Notes here, I won't keep you too long, but very important people to thank, including yourself, Bev. So, very honoured. Thank you very much for this. Rideship, I'm the sustainability manager there, Chris Frumberger. Yeah, honoured to win this award, and first I better thank some people so that then I can talk. So yeah, very much the Small Business Victoria, the sponsor of the award, NBN, including Bev and John, who is not here, and Aaron as well, who had to run, and City of Melbourne. So I haven't saved as much water tonight as Aaron did, so hopefully I can make a bit of sense and tell you who Rideship are. So I'm pretty sure you would never have heard of us, but we're basically a company that provides information and advice to the shipping industry. So when you move cargo from A to B, so from Melbourne to the Middle East, we give information on the safety of ships, and basically where I come in is the sustainability part, so how efficient those ships are. So we basically provide a rating that grades all the ships. So if you want to move a certain cargo, you can go and pick a more efficient ship. And this is something that has gained traction over, we're a 16-year-old company, but probably about the last 5 years is where the sustainability piece has come in, and we've started very small with a couple of customers using our rating. Now we've got over 40 that move about 20% of the world's cargo. So that's roughly about, what have we got here, about, give me a second. So roughly about just over 2 billion tonnes of cargo a year. So they basically use our rating to pick more efficient ships. So it's really impacting the market, which is makes my job a pleasure every day to go to. And more recently, we've a couple of other things, like we're now offering them an ability to offset the carbon associated with moving that cargo. So if it takes 2,000 tonnes of cargo to move some iron ore up to China, we can facilitate that carbon neutral transaction to get that cargo there. So that's enough about Rideship, small company around the corner on Collins Street, and really excited to win this award, and also too from a sustainability perspective to get some recognition is fantastic. So thank you all very much.
Well, many of these businesses we wouldn't have even heard about tonight, so it's a great opportunity to hear about what these wonderful people are doing in business in Melbourne. But we've come to the really exciting part for the last award, which is in fact the Business 2017 Business of the Year Award, and I'd like Barbara Cullen to come up once again to present this. You're tweeting, of course. And this award goes to Mimi. I'd like to would you like to say a few words?
Thank you once again. This comes as a complete surprise, and it's a great honour to take this award home and so forth. And it's testament to the team we've got down at Mimi and the efforts that they've all put in with the business over many years. So I'd just like to acknowledge and thank them, and also thank all the other finalists in the process as well. It's fascinating just sitting there reflecting on all the businesses and hearing their stories and their journeys so far in the great city of Melbourne. So thank you.
So that concludes this part of the evening, but I'd like to firstly congratulate all of the winners. We're going to take some photos, so please don't disappear. All right, we want lots of photos. Each of the winners will in fact get a really small, not a lavish media kit, but we will put some photos and the kit together for you in the next couple of weeks when John's back. And, so please, what will happen now, we're going to take some photos. Please stay, enjoy the food and wine, network, go and meet some more people. And before we actually go, I won't come back here. We'll just mingle and network and enjoy the evening. But I'd like to thank, firstly, the Deputy Lord Mayor, Aaron Wood, to come out when little Bubby's only 4 weeks old was great. And he's actually, I have to say, a really breath of fresh air for the council. You know, we were expecting him downstairs at a certain time, and I was over at the bar getting a quick drink, and here he is. He waltzed in, he said, "No, I caught the tram, I didn't want any fuss," you know. So it's just really lovely. And I'd like to thank Barbara Cullen from Victoria State Government, who's a great supporter. Judy O'Connell, thank you for coming. Our judges, of course, Eric here representing them. I know it's a lot of hard work to in fact get through. The submissions are quite lengthy and very challenging. And I'd like to thank the committee for their support as well tonight. Our special guests, and certainly to the finalists, past winners, to the winners, and everyone supporting small business in Melbourne and encouraging individuals to take that leap of faith in their small business if that's what they'd like to do. We need to encourage people, provide the services, provide the knowledge, provide the advice, good advice and where to get it. And at Melbourne Business Network, if we can connect people to in fact do that, then provide an awards program to recognise that and promote that and help develop small businesses, then that's what we do, and our job is well done. And I'd like that to grow even stronger over the next years. And at Melbourne Business Network, we've been going 21 years, still growing. And of course, if anyone knows about the bell curve of a business model, you know, we get to the top all the time. We have to keep innovating, and we are no different. We have to keep looking at what we do. We take the feedback seriously. We try to energise the network all of the time, and the awards. So if you have feedback from tonight or anything else, we welcome it, we listen, and we try and develop even further. So thank you very much. Enjoy the evening. Can we get all the winners to the front here and bring your